Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izuku and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Well, hello, good morning, and welcome to Sofa Sundays. Hope you're having a beautiful Sunday morning. We are here live. We have our special guest, dear friend, who you've seen before on the sofa. We have Deborah Covington in the house this morning, so yay, we're so excited about that. We also have our dear, not our mascot, because if there's a mascot, it's got to be Ozzy, but his son is coming in second, like the sidekick. Inky is live in the house, and so you can go show Evie likes the whole little Inky. Oh,
Inky, say oops. Say hi, Inky. There you go.
We're having fun here. Puppy love this morning. Puppy love. Okay. Well, if you're on your way, keep coming on here. You're never late here at the sofa. We're at 7220 North 16th Street. We're in building 1A. You'll see our logo on the door, which is our cartoon caricature of myself and Reverend Dr. Jeannie Sovereigns. I love saying that because she just earned her doctorate, so it's kind of fun to exaggerate that for her. I'm so proud of her. So she's got a couple weeks off, and so today we have Deborah filling in, and this month's theme is the Prosperous Soul, which I need some of that prosperous souling right now. So I don't know about you, but I love exploring this topic, and it's interesting to me how we planned the topics last year and how they just perfectly line up with what we all need. Like Miss Ann Caldwell, shout out to Ann Caldwell right now, where she's home recovering from her surgery. We miss you, but she always says, "You stayed up last night and just did this topic for me this morning, right?" Because it always feels like we're speaking straight to her. Well, isn't that amazing how Spirit works? No, I love to say that, Ann, but no, we plan these out a year in advance because we have our workbooks that we like to give to everybody, our journaling books that have all the topics listed for the year. So we have to do it early. But isn't it amazing? There's no time in Spirit. Spirit just lines it all up, knows what's going to be going on. And right now, the Prosperous Soul is definitely my topic for sure. So, without further ado, as I say, and I also want to say that we are at the home of Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington's practice. This is where she does her classes and all things for the Unleash Your Life.us. She donates this space to our ministry every Sunday for going on 4 years now. So we're so grateful for that. But I want you to know this space is fantastic. There are 2 separate rooms, and you can rent them if you have a ministry or you have a class or a workshop or something that you want to do. This space is awesome. I'm telling you. You can check it out at the unleashyourlife.us site. There's a page there that talks about all the things that she does, but also about renting the space, either one. So check that out. And that's a shameless plug that she doesn't ask us to do, but we do it anyway because we love her and want to support her back. All right. So you're good with that, puppy? He's just chilling. Yeah, she'll just take him to Laird. Okay, so Deb, would you like to pray us in this morning? All right, let's get it started. Let me give you a job.
And as we hear the sound of the chime of the bowl, we take this moment to breathe.
And as we breathe, we focus inward. We bring our mind into that place of the inner being. The inner being that is pure energy. It is the frequency of peace and calm and stillness. It is that experience that we call love. For in the pureness of this energy, it is the allness. We are connected to the allness through our inner being. Everything that is of us is of the one power. And we take these moments to bring our awareness, our consciousness to that connection. Recognizing that it is in this wholeness that we are creating worlds of reality, of love, of prosperity, of abundance. For energy has no beginning and no ending. It is our God energy. And with that recognition, we remain in this place of connection to our inner being, opening our hearts and our minds to receive messages from the conscious collective that is God. And we each receive everything that we've asked for in this very moment. Every desire that we have in this very moment. It is ours now, and we accept it. And so it is.
So it is. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, well, what's our topic of today? I'm so grateful that I'm feeling better. I had a cold all week, which is not a good time. Doesn't feel very prosperous when that's going on. But I started feeling much better. I had somebody buy me a medicine ball. Have you ever had a medicine ball? So now, if you get it at Starbucks. So if you're ever not feeling well, especially if you feel, like the cough and just that feeling, you can go to Starbucks and ask them for a medicine ball. Now, most Starbucks will know what you mean. It's not on the menu. They know what that means. But if they don't know, you might have to look up and tell them what it is. So you can Google it and tell them it's like a certain kind of tea that they have. It's got honey in it and it's got lemon water in it, I think. But something about that, I was really having a tough day the day that somebody got that for me and said, oh my gosh, I forget about those. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, I want you to blah, blah. Well, what I owe you? No, nothing. I had a gift card. Someone gave me a gift card, so I just used it and got that for you. And I'm like, thank you so much. So I was thinking about how so much prosperity. I'm going through some difficult financial situations right now. And at the same time, it is allowing other people to be prosperous toward me, to share their prosperity with me. And it has been such a beautiful thing for him to have been given when he said that, my head goes, that's a prosperity thing right there. I need you to recognize what's happening, Michelle. I need you to recognize. And I went, okay, I see it. Somebody gave him a gift and he then shared his gift with me. If that's not prosperity in action or the movement of that toward me, I don't know what else to say. But that's what that said to me. Like, okay, we're moving through, things are moving, things are shifting, things are changing, I can see it. But that's not the only time that happened this week. And it's so interesting because today our topic is divine abundance flows freely through me. through me. Divine abundance flows freely through me, not just to me. Not just to me. I have been feeling it coming to me. And what I have been recognizing too is that in my situation happening, I feel as though I've been letting it, to me. And I need to then also release so it is through me.
Yes.
Because when you grab onto it, it's like you not ruin it, but it's almost like you stop that flow and the natural movement that abundance is, that prosperity is. And then you're saying back to the universe, thank you so much, but it's a lot of lack going on here. I gotta hang on, gotta hold on to it, right? So it's just a very interesting to be in who I am, in the space that I am in, and questioning a lot of those things. Like, why is this happening? What are you doing? Because that's immediately where I go, what are you doing up here that's doing this down here? And then to consciously see these moments where other people have just very interesting, I can tell multiple stories in this week alone that other people have just done things, kind little gestures and big gestures just to help me. And it's been like, oh my goodness. So now it's the allowing it to not grip onto that, not to hang on to that, to allow it to move and have it. I cannot concentrate if he's going to be over there looking so cute like that. He is totally asleep in your arms like a baby. He's only 4 pounds, so he's definitely a baby. Anyway, thank you, Evie. I was in my flow, but now I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. I think I was finished there. But you know what I'm saying? It's like when you are in a stressful situation, whether it's money, so money is usually the way that it shows up, I think, for a lot of people.
Yes.
To tell you what your energy is doing. So if you want to know, like, what am I thinking about? Look at your money, because for some reason, money is to me the greatest indicator of how's it going up here. What you doing? It can show up in other ways though. But it's so interesting to me to see that the ebbs and the flows of the movement, when you start altering and you start shifting and changing the movement, how it starts to move towards you. And then when I was looking at this, because I made this little graphic, if you guys could see the graphic I made to announce that Deborah was on the sofa with me today. So I saw it ahead of time because I try not to script what I'm doing on the sofa because I want spirit to move. But I had to notice that. It wasn't divine abundance flows freely to me. I mean, that would be lovely. But that is not what that says. It says divine abundance flows freely through me. Oh my goodness. So I have a little more work to do to just like not hang up. As it comes, I'll be like, oh my gosh, thank you. And hang on to be like, thank you, and let it move.
There is a whole thing about, as you know, and now many people that have gotten to know me too through this, to me, I look at everything as energy. To me, that's everything. I call it energy. And so when I first became aware of this concept of what energy is, and that it's always moving. Okay?
So I like that. So it's always.
Yeah. And so it's our perception. I was reading this morning, I read every morning inspiring things that come to me. And actually through my social media, I have my algorithms down, so I only get spiritual enlightening things. Anything else I blocked, and so it doesn't come to me anymore. And that was a big experience for me of doing that, because I went, oh, well, if I can do that on my social media, guess what? I can do that in my choices by my thoughts and my emotions. Now, I'm not saying that I don't ever have thoughts that I don't like, that don't bring me joy or feelings. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is when they come to me, I look at them and I go, okay, do I want to keep having this? No, stop. Okay, I'm moving on to something that feels better to me.
Right.
In that flow, when we hold on to that separation, because that's when we say to me, we are separating ourselves from the allness that is energy.
Hold on, like I got to unpack that some more. I like that so much. So you're say it one more time.
When we say that it's flowing to me instead of through me, we are separating ourselves from the flow, the natural divine flow of everything that is energy. And that creates a block. Now, it's not blocking energy. The energy is still moving and flowing, but we're blocking it as it's flowing through us.
Yeah.
But only through, in reality, it still is, but only through our perception. And our perception, we're creating our own reality through our own individual perception. Our perception is what makes us really unique. And when we create our own reality in that uniqueness, we are creating what we are perceiving that we're experiencing. And so if I'm focused on me, it's coming to me, it's mine, or I need to hold on to this out of fear. The fear is because now I've fed myself that illusion that I'm separate from that divinity, from that divine flow. And so it can't keep coming to me, so I've got to hold on to it. Well, now in my perception, I don't see it coming to me either. Make sense?
Right.
So this is what I've been looking at a lot recently. I had a really interesting experience this last week. And just like you said, this subject being this today, I didn't know until we sat down and I asked you, I didn't know what it was today. Yeah. And this is what I have been looking at and working with in my own awareness and consciousness. And earlier this week, I went and checked my business checking account. I don't check it all the time. As an accountant, I do once a month, but I don't check it all the time. And I went in there and there was an additional $1,000 that I didn't expect. And you know what I did with that? I went, where did that come from? And I went, don't ask. I didn't go in there to find out who sent it to me. Nothing. I just went, thank you. Thank you, and moved on.
Yeah.
Because I recognize that if I'm trying to understand where it's coming from, then I'm doing that same thing as separating myself from the divine flow. And just going, it's flowing. Now where do I need to let it flow? Where is this going to flow to? And I want to make it clear that when we're paying our bills, we are flowing that energy. We're allowing that to flow too. It's not just something that is owed. We are using that money and the energy of it to give prosperity to other people too, whether they're businesses or individuals. Right.
I totally believe that. We get to pay those bills.
Yeah.
The gratitude of being able to have electricity I think the frustrating part for me is when I can't pay a bill. When I want to, honor, if I've used the electricity, I want to be able to honor that I paid that, right? I want to be able to honor if I owe somebody something, I want to honor that because they've shared theirs. I want to honor it back, right? So I think the frustrating part is when you can't do that. But on the regular day-to-day, really try to find gratitude when you're paying the bills. Because we have so much to be grateful for that we get to pay bills for.
Yes.
If you don't, you say, oh, look at this, electricity bill is so high. Well, yeah. And thank God we have electricity because it's freaking hot out here. I don't know where you're at, but we're in Arizona and it is an oven, a pizza oven. Every time you can't even open the door. So if I didn't have electricity and if I didn't have my air conditioner running, it would be miserable. I don't even know I don't think we could even survive. In fact, if you don't pay your bill right now, SRP will not turn it off. That's how hot it is. They'll still allow your electricity to run so you can keep your AC going. That is how hot it is right now. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I don't remember who this was, my dad or my mom, somebody used to write thank you on every check that they wrote back in the day when you did checks, you fill out a check paying whoever it was to pay, and they'd put thank you in the memo, whether it was a credit card bill. And I'm like, no one sees that. That's for me. I'm grateful that I get to pay this. I'm grateful that I've been given the money to pay my bills and have the things that I've had or honor the commitments I've made. You know, so it's just watching, it's just such an awareness to watch, you know, to observe your humanness move through whatever's going on around you in the area of your prosperity, your abundance, your money, or whatever you consider abundance. You know, what else are you experiencing in abundance right now? You know, and recognizing yourself as you move through that, kind of stepping aside and saying, so what's going on? What are you doing with that? How are you feeling about that? You know, and I feel like I was watching a reel where they were talking about oftentimes when we're going through these tough seasons of our life, it's for a growth, you know. There's that show, and if Anne were here, she'd tell me, because I never remember the show, but there's the show where, is it Morgan Freeman? Look, she's probably wants to type it on there right now. I tell you every time, where the person was asking for some, like either courage or patience or whatever, and God doesn't just give it to you. God doesn't go, oh, okay, well, you're patient now. Or, oh, you have, you know, you're smart now. Or no, God puts you through things to develop it. So be careful what you're asking for. If you're asking to be more courageous, I wish I was braver. I wish I was stronger. I wish I would, you know, I had more gumption. I could just do the thing. Well, you don't just you don't just become that. You have to grow that, you know, and that's like, so sometimes I go, oh, did I ask for this? What was I asking for again? Can I redo my order slip? Like, what did I order? What was on the menu that I ordered? Because this is, you know, when it's a tough season, you go, oh my gosh. But if it's for the growth that you'd ask for, the desires of your heart, that this human part of you is desiring, that's part of the journey. It's just, you're just on the path to the thing. And that's just what it looks like right now. So just recognizing that when divine abundance flows through freely, it's hard to say those together. Divine abundance flows freely through me. Are you allowing all of it to flow freely through you? Or are you stopping it? Are you doubting it? Are you, you know, who am I to have? You know, why are they helping me? Why are they doing that? Maybe, you know, or you're proud, you're feeling proud or whatever. It's like, no, there's a reciprocity that happens. And I have learned that when somebody wants to do something for me, so even when my friend bought me the medicine ball tea drink thing, you know, my first response was actually gratitude. I was so grateful because I'd forgotten all about that, and that does really work for me. And then my second thought was like, oh, can I pay for that? I did offer that back, but not in a way of like, I'm so over feeling like that. When I was younger, I would, oh, no, I can't take that unless, you know, or even if you said, you look pretty today, oh, well, you're pretty or whatever. I never could just receive. And I remember Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington from the pulpit talking about how selfish that is, because sometimes you're the giver and sometimes you're the receiver. And if you're always the giver, you don't let anybody else receive, and you stop that flow, that natural movement of things. Sometimes you have to let someone else be the giver, and you just have to receive and stop. Why do we feel weird about that, or, you know, prideful about that? Oh, I can't tell anybody I need help because, you know, heaven forbid they know. But if they needed help and they told you, what would you do? Wouldn't you run to them and help them? But you feel weird to ask for it yourself, you know? So I'm much better at that today, and I recognize that too. When he gave it to me, I was like, I'm so grateful for that. That's going to be it's so good. And I recognize that, okay, so I'm not blocking it there. I'm allowing it to come to me there. But the through part really threw me. Am I allowing it to flow through me though? Or am I just stopping it here? Because I'm feeling a little bit of lack in my life right now to where I'm hanging on. I'm worried about, don't do this, or am I just, hey man, it's gonna be what it is. Relax, you know?
Exactly. So I'm going to say something that maybe.
How are you concentrating?
Oh, I know. Talking about the disturbance of this awful cute baby here.
I know.
So I'm going to say something that may be shocking to some people.
That's so unlike you, Deborah.
Yeah. So, what if there isn't a God that's doing something for us? I've become really aware that I read this somewhere and I went, oh, that makes so much sense to me. When we take a belief and make it a thing, so much of the masses have made God a thing, a person,
Yes.
a deity,
Right.
with a personality.
Yes.
And I'm not saying this is wrong. I just heard you say, God's doing this, God's doing this. And I'm like, no, the God in you is doing this. It's the God in us. And then you clarified it more by saying, I've asked for this. Did I ask for this? Wow, why did I ask for this? And yes, we all go through that. And the thing that I'm really, really watching and paying attention in my talking, because the things that we say reveal parts of what we still believe. Okay? And because we hear so much about God being separate from us, God being out there, or up there, but not in us.
Right.
And so I've become really careful and really aware of when I'm speaking about God and referring to God in me. This is the God in me because I am that energy. I am that. And so everything that I'm experiencing, and when you started talking about you're going through a time that can be challenging and it feels like a struggle right now financially, I thought, oh my gosh, well, she's giving herself the opportunity for something really amazing to happen. This is a big
I
change.
believe that's what's happening.
Because I found in my experience that the more challenging the experiences are, when I get to the other side, wow, it's so much better. And change has never, ever been a bad experience, a bad outcome. I've made it a bad experience by my perception of what I think reality is, but the outcome has never been bad or worse for me. It's always been better.
Yeah.
And that's when I started going, oh, I've been creating this. I've been creating this all along.
Yeah.
My inner being knows exactly what it's doing. It knows my deepest desires. It knows what I want most and what I want best, and that is what is my highest good for me. And recognizing that in the flow of things that are going on. I too, somewhat recently experienced having a cold virus. Wow, and it kicked my butt. Oh, it kicked my butt. Oh, in the summer. Yeah.
It's miserable in the summer.
And it's interesting because I've talked many times about the whole COVID thing and the good things that came out of it. It was a very challenging time. Again, very challenging time. And when we were isolated for so long in our home, we got to where we became even more isolated when everything opened back up again. And we weren't going places with big groups, not to not catch anything that we were out of fear. It just became a part of our living. We all started working from home, and we just started doing less things out.
Yeah.
So now we're out and about again. And my grandson now is working in a restaurant, and he's coming home and bringing home all of these viruses and these germs.
Oh no.
So now we're experiencing the challenges of having the circumstances of feeling those viruses in our bodies that don't feel healthy.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I know this is probably not what you want to hear, but would you consider wearing a mask at work all the time? And he went, it'd probably be a good idea. And he goes, Mom or Grandma, that would be so uncomfortable. Because we get hot, and I'm like, oh, I remember when we wore them all the time, and that's not comfortable at all.
Like that.
So I said, I'm not going to ask you to, and we'll just deal with it, But during those times when I was feeling like that, I just let myself be there. I just let myself go, this really sucks. I feel horrible. I know it's going to pass. It always passes, and I'm going to do the best I can to do what I need to do. But I just am not enjoying this.
I mean, correct. There's nothing. That's the thing is like there's nothing wrong with having those emotions.
Exactly.
And I think one of the hard parts about religious studies is people start to feel like they can't have those negative emotions. No. Those are all, we have them all for a reason.
Yes.
We need them all. They help to navigate. Allow yourself to feel them and then decide how how you're going to move through that, but don't fight that. But that's what, when I think about that movie, and that's what I was referring to, the movie where it's a God character who says, that you asked for patience. So I gave you a way to learn how to be patient, I think in my mind, so when I think about God, I see God as like a light, fluidy, like a, it's hard to put it in words, but Jeannie says it's like sparkly stuff. Kind of not sparkly like that, like not glittery sparkly, but you think I would have God be sparkly, but I don't. It's not. I don't see it like that, but I feel like this dense. It has a shimmer, I guess, and a light. Like I see that, and I see like this flowy moving. You know what I mean? It's everything. It's all the things. That's how I see it.
You have a visual experience of energy.
Yes, so that's how I think about it, and. There was this lady that I think is so cool. I'll find her and I'll share it with you. I think she's on Facebook. But she's been posting really cool things about how when the 3D, she calls this the 3D, when the 3D sends you something that you don't like. She said, did you get her? Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
I don't know if I shared this last week or not, but when it sends you something you don't like and you get all upset or whatever, why are you doing that? Just send it back.
Yep.
Oh, no, that's not what I ordered.
That's not
Send
what
it back.
I want.
Send it back.
Yep.
Right? And then she says, like, if you got a package from Amazon and it opened it up or it wasn't addressed to you, you wouldn't be like, oh, I'm worthless. I'm not good enough. What's wrong with me? You wouldn't be like doing that. You'd be like, this isn't my package. I didn't order this. You'd send it back. Or oops, it doesn't fit. It's the wrong size, wrong color, I don't want that. Send it back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And it goes with this other person I like who talks about you're the designer. You are the creator. You're designing it.
Right.
Have a good time. Why are you? This is all your design. So if I'm saying I want this experience, and I am fully aware that I have asked for something really big in my life and a calling that I have, and I also recognize that most people who have accomplished the thing I want to accomplish have gone through this type of a season also.
Yes.
And I don't know why that is. Some kind of preparing or whatever, but I could just read it in a book. I could read it. Let me just read it. I'll study it, pass the test, and then I'll go. I don't know why I have to go through it. But anyway, I am aware that I'm on some part of the journey that gets me to where I'm supposed to be going. So I try to not allow myself to, I do have the emotions of worry and I have had some panic, some fear. And then I try to go, what's the worst that's going to happen? No one's going to take your firstborn child. No one's going to, nothing. Whatever. Let it go. And whatever comes to me for help. So if I get I think, why don't you talk to so-and-so? Why don't you move this way? Why don't you move that way? When I get myself out of those scarce, freaky moments where I'm scared and worried and whatever, and I go, no, it is what it is, like whatever. I get little hits like, you need to talk to this person. You need it, and I'll go, okay, I'll go do it, and then stuff just happens. So it's a very interesting place to try to be allowing the abundance of flow, but to allow it to move, like just let it move, let it move. And I think the times where I am settled and I kind of almost throw my hands up like, whatever. I get those responses. Okay, now take this move. Now do this move. I feel like maybe that's how it flows through me. move like this, go like this, call that person, ask for that, and it moves. Or if that person wants to give you that, say yes. Don't argue, just say yes and move, But I want to say this before I forget. The other one that I like on the internet, I don't think it's the same one. I think it's a different one from the 3D person. Another one that says, every night when I go to sleep, I turn off any switches I don't want on. So, and I turn on any that I do want on. So like abundance, check. Fear, off. And she just goes through a mental checklist of like, whatever she noticed throughout the day that maybe we're on, she turns them off. And whatever maybe she wants more of, she turns those on. And she declares that that's how she's going to start her day the next day. And I like this. And so sometimes when I'm feeling stressed out about something, I'll go, oh, I'm going to turn that stress button off. Turn it off. And I turn it off. And then I allow myself to like move from there. So it's kind of, some people need a lot of visuals to understand things. So if you can't just say, I try to teach people, if you want to get in the present moment, take a deep breath, it pulls you right back in the moment. Maybe that doesn't work for you. Maybe you're like, well, nothing's changed. I still feel whatever. Maybe say to yourself, I'm feeling really freaked out right now. I'm upset. I'm angry. Oh, I'm just going to turn that off for a minute. Click, turn off the anger, turn off the stress. Now what I want to do. Now how I'm moving. And it's like it's so cool when you can move from that place. That's when it will flow through you. And if you listen, you'll know the next move and where to go. And it's so, that's when it's incredible. And that's what I think that's why I think I'm going through in this human journey, in this experience, so that I sharpen that ability. Because before I can be very busy with a husband and children and doing things and moving and reacting, and this muscle is not strong enough for where I want to go. And so I really recognize I am being grown through this. I don't like it at all. And I really want where I see myself. I really want that experience. And I'm aware that is mine. And so so be it.
There's a reason why they came up with that phrase from the Bible, be still and know.
That's one of my favorites, that.
And it's the most challenging. It is the most challenging because we believe as human beings we're supposed to be doing all the time.
Yeah.
Doing.
Can I move
this
still,
a moment?
right?
Because it's making my eyes
Larry,
burn because of
will you
the,
just
so it's just not blowing right on my face.
move it toward me? I'm having hot flashes.
You are.
Yes,
how
because my
wonderful.
hormones weren't right. So I'm back on them, but it takes a while. Yeah, I like that. Perfect. Is that off you now, honey?
That's much better. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
We were talking about
Being still. Yeah.
being still.
Especially because we live in a world that creates the illusion that we have to keep doing. That in order to get anything done, you have to do it.
Right.
And Abraham Hicks says that we spend too much fighting ourselves. We create a battle with our inner being. That's why when I started out the prayer, I wanted to focus. I wanted myself and to be focused on this stillness. This is not about doing anything. This is about being in the flow and allowing information to just flow in through me, as me, and just being in that. And it takes stillness for me to be in that at times.
I think it does take stillness.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't get stillness when you have enough money to go do a bunch of stuff, or you have everybody around you. Like, sometimes you need these things to happen, so you will just stop.
Exactly.
And shut the F up.
Yeah, because if I had more money, I'd be out traveling, I'd be out doing this, I would be buying this, I would be going and doing this. Would I sit still and just allow myself? So I have set an intention recently for a certain amount of money that I want to receive. And I'm going through the process of going, I don't care where it comes from. I don't care. So why do I want it? Because I want to feel this. I want to have this experience of having this money. What's the experience like? Well, I do want to do some things with it. And I want it to be there so that I can just see it and then watch it flow.
Yeah.
And the first thing that came to my mind was, I want to feel the joy that I can feel right now in knowing that I can take this amount of money and pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
And that's the first time in my life that I've ever been able to get to the point where I went, this would feel good to do that. And this has come around because of being self-employed. Because as we know, self-employed, you have self-taxes that you have to pay.
Right.
Nobody's withholding it from your pay.
Right.
So you have to plan for that.
Right.
So I do. I put lump sums of money into an account, and it sits there at the IRS, and it sits there until I file my taxes. You know, every year since I've done that, I get that return back, and I tell them, just hold it until next year. Just hold it. Put it on my next year. Put it on my next year. Because the plan is that as more money comes in, then I'll keep putting more in, and keep putting. And so that has really got me to that place of feeling the joy of knowing that that's something that when we live in this, especially in this country, I don't know about, well, probably every country, you know, there are things that you have to do, and paying taxes is one of them, you know, and I don't have to do that anymore. I'm doing it because I'm choosing to do it. Because I could do what a lot of self-employed people do and just don't pay it in, and then try to find all kinds of write-ups so that I don't have to show any income either. But I'm not going to do that. I want to feel the joy of knowing that I have this profitable income coming in, and that I can share that and put that out, because I do believe, I'm not going to get political, I do believe that the taxes that I pay go to do something valuable, period.
Yeah.
It's not my judgment what it is, and I don't really want to get into that, but I know it's going to do something that allows me to live in this country and have the privileges that we do have. And we do have privileges.
Right.
You know,
we do.
so,
Roads,
oh yeah.
phone systems, fire hydrants,
Schools, yeah.
you know,
yeah.
fire departments,
Yeah,
schools.
Yep.
We have a lot of things that
We do.
that's what that money pays for. And people, I don't know what people are thinking when they do that. But yeah, we're not going to get political, but
No.
But it is a whole thing
But it's just getting past
Yeah.
that negative feeling.
of having to
that-
give money.
I don't know about anybody else, but I was brought up with this negative feeling about paying taxes.
Yeah.
You know, it was something you have to do. And I felt that way forever.
Paying
I don't
anything.
anymore now.
People get upset about paying anything.
Well, true.
They're upset to have to
Pay
write
the
their
rent.
checks out and pay their
Yeah,
rent.
exactly.
Everything that you're paying for, if something's expensive, everything that you're paying for is paying for someone else's livelihood. Someone
That's
else's
right.
job,
It's-
someone
yeah,
else's
it's that flow.
employees get their paychecks because you paid, you know what I mean? It all moves around, so to stop it there
Right.
by your negativity, it hurts you because the flow also
right.
stops. But if you can see it as I get to pay this out and then, you know, whatever. It's even like the old friend I used to have that her husband owns a really big company, and so she does have a Bentley in the garage, and she the husband didn't like her to drive it to the office because the employees would, you know, he didn't want anybody freaking out, right? And one day she was out running errands and he needed her to come by, whatever. She's like, so she's just stopped in the front and ran in to sign whatever she needed. And then he was so upset because she was in the car. She goes, well, I was already out in that, whatever. And I said, what? I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. Who's taking all the risk? Who works from 5:30? Who built this company for years and years that all these other people that are now working there get to benefit from? Your husband. You know, if you want to pull up in a Bentley, then, and if they're jealous, and you go do the same thing he did. This big company exists here because he did that. His first marriage didn't last because he was gone before the kids got up and came home after the kids went to bed because he was building for 2 years straight almost. that he didn't see his own family or children for almost 2 years, and that relationship didn't work, obviously. But that's those kids today are adults, and they all work for that company. It's a huge company. So, yeah, if people get jealous of that, I don't understand that.
Well,
I think people should be educated. You
Yes,
know, like
yes.
you need to educate your company. Then, like, if I want to, this is what it took for me to get here. That gives you that paycheck that you're living off of today. So if I'm reaping some benefits from this, I should. And I know that they're fair with their employees. That's why I would recommend. Now, I don't like the companies that take so much for the top layer and not enough for the bottom layer. But this company is not that way. But still, if you don't like, go get your own company and you work all that and build it up, and then you can drive a Bentley. You know.
So I would like to bring it to the issue of the blockages that he's creating in doing that.
Right, it's so weird.
When we, you know, I've said this so many times. Your opinion of me isn't about me; it's about you.
Yes.
You know, I've really begun to look at people and go, "Oh, you've got an issue with me? That's your issue.
Yeah.
That's not my issue.
So
That's your
true.
issue." And I'm not going to buy into it. I'm not going to buy into your drama and your perception. That's not my perception. When we do buy into other people's perceptions, that's where that fighting, that war against our inner being is going on. Because I'm not honoring who my inner being really is. And my inner being says, I really enjoy driving that Bentley. And I'm proud to have this Bentley. It brings me joy. So I'm not going to stop myself from feeling the joy simply because you've got an issue with it. You know,
And what's the
because you're
issue?
blocking then, you know, what is flowing through you. You're still creating that perception of a blockage.
Right.
So,
Well, then you think about this too. I forgot that I was going to add this onto there. Is that the Bentley, but like the Bentley is also representative of a lot of jobs.
oh, certainly.
Somebody designed
yes.
that car. Somebody dreamed that car up, presented it, designed it. A whole company said, "Yes, let's build it." A whole bunch of engineers, people have jobs around that car. And so, like, you know, some people get so, oh, you know, you drive a Bentley. Yeah, so what? He's an answer, Larry. Can you grab this mic? There are people who buy these big fancy cars and spend all this money on purses and what they're supporting someone else's dream. I know it seems like a lot of money, but it still all moves around.
Well, and the other side of it is that maybe the husband's perception is wrong. It could be that the employees think that this is wonderful and that I can aspire to that.
That's
It
what I
could be
would think.
an aspiration for them, not a jealousy thing.
Yeah.
So the husband is the one that's probably
Well, he's coming from fear.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot, and he probably still feels bad about it because the family did not originally come from a lot. The father had a great idea and did it, and then this particular son built on top of it for his life, and now the whole family is abundant. But yeah, it's all that work, and so he probably still feels like he has to, and he's a very humble person. Like if you saw him in the store, you'll see him in the store. You'll see him at Home Depot. You'll see him, even though he could easily send everybody else to do that for him. Like I saw him a couple times at different stores. I'm like, what is this? Like, don't you have a whole company to work? Like, what are you doing? A whole company? Don't you have house people and everybody else? But he's out the one doing it. So he probably still feels like that guy way back when, he's just a guy going to work, just doing my thing,
So let's talk about prosperity. And you brought this up in the beginning. Prosperity it's not linear. It doesn't have one quality, one level to it. We've all heard that there's people that are billionaires and are miserable.
Yeah.
Or billionaires and can't keep intimate relationships going.
Right.
We all have, as human beings, we all have experiences where we're blocking because fear is a part of the way our brain works. They can prove that scientifically.
Yeah.
It is a part of the way our brain works, and fear is a blockage. They've actually shown by testing the brain that when we're emotionally feeling fear and having fearful thoughts, there are blockages to synapses where the electrical impulses flow. So they can show that physically there's a blockage that happens. So I don't care who it is, we all experience times of fear, whether it's emotional, whether it's rational or irrational, we all experience it. So I think it's really, this statement to me is more about recognizing that we all experience prosperity. Everybody, the homeless person experiences prosperity. The most wealthiest person in the world experiences prosperity. The statement to me wants us to be aware of recognizing the areas that we may be in fear and blocking it. And then it's not only just money.
Right.
And it's not only just relationships.
Right.
And it's not only our physical health. I mean, that's our physical health can bring us prosperity as well too. It can be prosperous for us. And so I see that statement to be a really, really powerful one because it is so dynamic in its depth of what prosperity really is. And are we willing to take a look at what prosperity means to us? What's my reality that I'm creating about prosperity?
Yeah, exactly. So really, the statement, divine abundance flows freely through me is
Abundance, yeah.
that's the same
Same,
thing.
yeah.
But the theme is prosperous soul.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So when we're thinking about that, I mean, it's just an awareness. It's an awareness to look over, just maybe today. Look over today. Where is it flowing through you? Is it flowing through, or are you holding it? Are you stopping it, blocking it, and not receiving it, not allowing it to come through you? That's a great awareness, and I think it's something to spend some quiet time around. And it could just be like those moments before you go to sleep at night. Just let it move through you and say, where has abundance been freely moving through me? And see where that is. And I think you'll also get the answer for it's not. Probably, where it's getting stuck. So, do you have anything to add today?
I think this applies. I had a therapist once who said the three aspects of life are health, wealth, and relationships. And if you take care of the relationships, the health and wealth will take care of themselves because you're prosperous in all three.
Oh, I love that.
That really, really is good because what I talk a lot about, what I focus a lot on for me is where am I emotionally? What's my emotional state? How am I feeling?
Yeah.
Physically, but mainly emotionally, because our emotional state determines what our relationships are like. There's no getting around that. Relationships are about emotional connection, and so I find myself doing more and less talking and more beingness. And when I say that, what I mean is I find that most people, at least most people that have been around me, but they spend a lot of time talking about what they don't want, what they don't like. And it's so much of it is about the past. It's not even what's happening now that they think they're experiencing. It's a lot about the past. And of course we could get into that. Well, 5 minutes ago was the past. Yes, I agree. It all is about the past, correct? And so I find myself having less to talk about because I won't talk about it. I won't talk. I don't find any need to talk about it. Abraham Hicks says, and this makes so much sense to me, when we're talking about what we don't want, we're keeping it active.
For sure.
That is staying active within our experience. And so talk about what you do want, what you do like, what you do appreciate. And I'm finding, wow, that's not as easy as it sounds. You know, because so much of what I hear is what I don't want.
Yeah.
You know, and to sit and you know, and there's that whole thing of when I'm with someone and they're feeling they need to talk about it, you know, I don't want to respond, well, I'm so happy and you know, it's not that I want to go and be in that frequency with them. I don't want to discount what they're feeling and what they're expressing either. You know, and I know that at the times when I'm in that place where I just really am there and feeling it and thinking, I'm perceiving I need to talk it out, to get it out. I don't want somebody sitting there going, well, what would feel better right now? Can you think of something that would feel better to you right now? Because, you know, at that time, I'm there. I'm not going to say I'm stuck there, but I'm there, and I'm not ready to move through it yet. You know, and so that's what I mean by I find it. I'm talking less. There's not as much to talk about. Now, when they're ready to move through it, then they have all kinds of things to talk about. You know, and I experience a hell of a lot more joy. I'm experiencing calm and peace. I'm no longer looking for things to bring excitement. Yeah. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to put it into words other than it's kind of weird because I've spent, 70 years thinking that there must be excitement in my life. There must be excitement. There must be something exciting to look forward to, something to do, And now I'm like, can I really be in this place of life is just beautiful?
Yeah.
I just want to see it as beautiful, and nothing needs to be any different for it to be beautiful. That's a unusual place for me, and I'm enjoying it. Do I want to stay here? Yes, I do want to stay here. I find that when I'm here, things just work. I sat down a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I think I'm ready for 2 more clients now. Guess what happened?
Oh yeah, they're probably beating down your door.
Things are just working out. In a calmness. The things that come up that I don't really want, okay, but it's not the like you said, I don't feed into it. It's like, oh, I can't stand this. Go away.
Right.
That's not it anymore. It's like, okay, well, is there anything I can do about this? No? All right, then just let it go, let it pass. If there's something I can do about it, then I'll do it. And if not, then just let it pass, it'll go.
Right.
It's energy, it's just gonna move, it'll move on. It may take longer if I hold on to it.
It does take longer to hold on to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel a lot of that too. I don't feel like the need to be doing so much stuff. Like I just literally having a puppy in the house too. You just want to. I enjoy just sitting on the floor with both my dogs, helping them bond, playing with them, and just chilling. Like I produce a lot during the day, so to just have those moments of calm. Like I'm not in the mood to like get decked up and go out and do something. You know what I mean? I'm in the mood to like relax and chill.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if it's just a stage of life where you're like, oh, just peace, please, just peace, and hang out in cuddles, right? With that little guy, although he's not cuddling now. He's a little wild guy now. He's awake.
To me, I see that as having an intimate relationship with myself, with my inner being.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Yeah, the inner, that slowing down, that having that stillness and that quiet time so that you can have that. Such a big deal. And I think that is a really great awareness to have, to be able to create divine abundance flowing freely through us.
Yeah.
Is allowing that quiet stillness to be there so that you can feel and allow it to happen. Yeah, we need some more quiet time. We need some more quiet time with ourselves. Oh, what a great Sunday. I'm very just calm today talking with you.
Good, good.
You
Feel
did
that
good.
too.
Yeah. Are you feeling good? Okay. All right. Well, let's dig this and we'll pray us out. Let's breathe that in. The sound of that chime, the vibration in the air. Bring ourselves to the oneness, to the truth, to one power, the one thing, the one energy that is all there is. Recognizing that it is abundance, that it is calm, it is joy, it is love, it is everything. And all. And as we recognize that, we connect with that truth. Connecting, knowing that we are that one thing. We are that abundance, that love, that joy, that calmness. We are that. And we allow it to move in as and through each of us. We allow the movement. We allow the flow. We allow the silence. We allow the connection to be free. In this moment, in this time that we've had together, through the sharing and the ideas, I know that we each receive what is ours to receive. I know that we each move from here, grounded, connected, aligned with that truth, with that knowing whose and who we are. We are the designer. We are the creator. We decide. We allow. We open our hearts and our minds and we just relax. We release anything standing in the way of our truth, standing in the way of the flow of abundance. And we just simply allow. We quiet our minds, we quiet our bodies, and we allow. And I'm grateful for the awareness this morning. I'm grateful for the connection that we each have with each other as Spirit moves through us all. So I let it go, know and trust. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is.
Oh, well,
I just want to stay there.
you want to stay there? You just stay. Let's just stay right here. I know nobody wants to go out in the heat, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We want to just stay right here. So listen, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for being with us in person too. And if you enjoyed what we talked about today, if you enjoyed being a part of our community, we would love to see you here present with us. Here, every Sunday we show up. We'd love it if you want to be here in person, for those of you that are local. If you can't do that, we love that you can be here online. We love that you can still receive our transmission, our messages through this wonderful thing called social media. So keep being a part of us as however you can. And you can also help others to find us by sharing our posts, by sharing our group on Facebook called Sofa Sundays. We also have a smaller one on Instagram. But if you share that with others and let them know that we're here, we would love that support. We also love if you bring visitors when you do show up and visit with us. And if you are called to, we'd love to have you support us with your tithe and offerings. And you can do that at our website. It is beginwithinministries.com. You just scroll down to the bottom of the page and you can give a one-time donation. You can also become a spiritual church club partner and receive one of our cute little mugs. Let's do a mug shot, shall we? I love our mug shots. And you can receive one of our mugs, our sofa charm, when we have our journals come out, when we have our workshops and our teachings. Those are all free to our partners. And that's a $45 a month donation or $75 for a family or a couple. We'd love to see you help us however you can. You can even just put a like on here, subscribe on here, or if you're in the Facebook group, you can put little gifts and comments. All of that helps us. It helps the algorithm know that something is going on here and it will share it as well. So thank you so much for being with us this Sunday. I'm going to go play with this puppy since I've been drooling over him this whole time. But anyway, we love that you were here with us this Sunday. We hope you have a beautiful week, and we'll see you next week. Jeannie will be back. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.